Hey guys, it's Jessica here, and I'm back with another book review, and this time it is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, the very amazingly thick book that is Lady Midnight, and it is amazing. Alright, so non-spoiler section, here we go. So if you have not heard of Cassandra Clare or any of her books, if you have not read any of these books here, I suggest you do that before you read this, because then you won't get the full fangirl/boy experience that this book gives you. About this book real quick, there are a few characters that we have seen before, and there are also a few characters we haven't seen before. If you read City of Heavenly Fire, then you know who our main character is, and her Parabatai, or Parabati, however you pronounce it. I pronounce it Parabatai. And that would be Emma Carstairs and Julian Blackthorne. And this book takes place in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles Institute, which in the beginning of City of Heavenly Fire was attacked by Sebastian Morgenstern, and it follows Emma as she tries to find the people that killed her parents, because her parents were killed a couple of hours after the attack on the LA Institute. And so we leave off from there. If you have not read this book, I suggest you pick it up, no matter how long it takes you to read. It is an amazing book. I was recently thinking about how different or evolved Cassandra's writing style has become since the first book to now this. It feels like Cassandra Clare has more experience writing, so she knows how she writes and how she wants to write certain scenes, which she does amazingly. This is about to have many, many spoils in it, and if you have not read Lady Midnight yet, I suggest that you don't watch this video any further, because I will spoil you a lot. Just know. Alright, spoilers. Coming now. Okay, so we open this book off with talking about with the point of view of Kit. Now, when I read Kit, I immediately thought of the live-action Cinderella and how the prince's name was Kit. And so we meet Emma at 5 years after we meet her in City of Heavenly Fire for the first time. After 5 years, and we meet her from Kit's point of view. And I was a little disappointed about that. I kind of want to just go like straight into Emma's point of view. But Kit's important to the story later on. He's foreshadowed, obviously, as being the first person we're introduced to that we haven't seen yet. The first time we ever get to see Emma's point of view, it's at night. It's using the information that Johnny Rook gave us, and we're waiting for the body to be dropped. And there we meet a new character, and that is Christina, who I am absolutely loving. She's just kind of that, I feel like she's kind of the voice of wisdom. Like, as a teenager, she is the voice of wisdom amongst them. We find out that, there have been a few murders, not a few, a lot of murders. All of the bodies are being dumped on ley lines. So when we go back to the Institute, we find out that Julian and the whole Blackthorne family is down in England with their grandma or their aunt. I forgot what it was. But they're there, and they're like training, and they left Emma all alone, and it just kind of made me feel sad, because I really, 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 really wanted to see Julian. As this investigation keeps going, I have a superpower where I can guess the bad guy or the twist in the book, and it's not, even if it's not foreshadowed, I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. Even if it's not a cliched thing, I just kind of guess it, and it's really sad that I can do that, because it's happened a couple of times, and it's ruined a few books for me, because I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually guessed what was gonna happen. And I did that with this book. About halfway through it, I was like, oh my god, I know who the bad guy is. It's Malcolm Fade. It is the warlock who I was actually really liking. But Malcolm Fade is our bad guy, and he's trying to bring back his beloved Annabelle Blackthorne. Oh my gosh. A shadow hunter and a warlock get together, but at this time it's forbidden, because there's no like accords, and there's nothing protecting downworlders. Annabelle Blackthorne's family seals her in a tomb alive and kills her because she fell in love with someone. That is wrong. That is very wrong. Shadowhunters are sometimes so messed up. it's ridiculous how they're even still around. Like, can we please agree on that? So we have Perfect Diego. Perfect Diego just like waltzes in and is all like perfect, and I don't trust him. One, because I kind of ship Mark and Christina, but there's something going on. I don't trust Perfect Diego because I think his brother wasn't drunk and he was just trying to cover his butt because he wants to control the Mexico City Institute, and I don't trust Perfect Diego. He's too perfect, and people can never be too perfect. We learned that with Jace. We learned that with Will. No one can ever be too perfect. Plus, I love Mark. I'm really enjoying Mark. At first, I was very iffy about Mark because I was like, oh, but I don't know about him. But as he reconnects with his family and as he sees how much they've grown, he starts to grow and he becomes the Shadow Hunter again, because I feel like he did lose Shadow Hunter part of him to the fairy part, and now he's gotten that back, and I'm very excited. And I'm also very nervous about what's gonna happen with the Mark, Julian, Emma thing going on, because we finally figure out, thanks to Jem and Tessa, we finally figure out the Parabatai curse. And that is, if two Parabatai fall in love, then their runes become so powerful they get magic, and Nephilim aren't supposed to have magic, so they become monsters and they basically destroy everything around them. And I definitely don't want that to happen to Julian and Emma, because I really like them, but at the same time I actually don't. I don't know why. I totally knew what was gonna happen with the whole Julian and Emma becoming Parabatai. They were totally gonna fall in love. I knew it. But I didn't think it was gonna be Julian that was the one that fell in love with Emma first. Can we talk about the room? Not his secret studio, but his private studio that are just pictures of Emma. If Emma didn't like Julian, and if the fandom or me didn't like Julian, having a whole room of pictures of Emma would have been really creepy. Also, can we talk about that beach scene? Oh my goodness, I was expecting them to like make out. They went a little farther than make out. They had sex on the beach. Right in the open. I mean, if you're trying to hide the fact that you both love each other, do not have sex on the beach where anyone can walk up and watch you or see you, and it was a horrible idea. Just don't do anything. Oh my gosh. And her asking Mark to pretend to be dating her, and they actually might start dating to make it even more realistic, because I'm not surprised that Mark agreed to it, because he had his heart crushed by Christina, because he was gonna go, he needed her, and then she was making out with Perfect Diego. Gosh. Ugh. Diego. I actually kind of want Perfect Diego's brother to come in, because I wanna see more of his character, because so far I'm just assuming he's this really like jerk who wants power. But we got to see some of our old characters come back, such as Clary, Jace. We get to see a little bit Alec and Magnus. We get to see Magnus, and then Magnus and Alec have a kid. And I was in class when I read that, and I totally started freaking out, and I slapped my friend who was sitting next to me. And she was just like, what the heck are you doing? Stop hitting me. And I'm like, oh my god, they have a kid. Which a lot of people already figured out, apparently, because of the Simon stories, which I haven't read, because I haven't read them yet. I'm gonna wait till they come out in the bundle, which I had the Magnus Bane Chronicles, but I haven't read those yet. The Midnight Theater. Let's talk about the Midnight Theater and the whole lottery. That just kind of blew my mind, because I really thought that what I thought was going to happen was that you get picked for the lottery, you have 2 days to just do whatever you want, and then after that, you are hunted down and killed. Like, those are your last 2 days on Earth, to just not be afraid of dying, and then like Malcolm or someone else comes and hunts you down. But that's not what happened. No, it was killed or be killed, and most of them kill. I want to talk about the Blackthorns. I'm going to talk about them separately. Tavi is the youngest Octavian, who I think is adorable. I absolutely love Tavi. I really like Tavi. He's like, did I help? And I'm like, yes, you did, you adorable little child. But we didn't get a lot of Drusilla, and then there's Levy, I'm gonna call her Levy. totally sympathize with Levy because she wants to be parabatai with her brother, her twin brother, who doesn't want to be her parabatai because he wants to go and be a solo man. He wants to go to the solo mance. Yeah, the solo mance, and he wants to study, but he's ADHD. He has to work with his hands, and he thinks in patterns and chaos is in his thing. I'm very worried about Ty, but I do really like Ty as well. And then we have Julian, and Julian scares me. As much as I love Julian, the things he will do for his hit family scare me. Very, very much so, because if he's willing to lie and bring down other people who have done nothing to save his family, then there is definitely something scary about that boy. And then Emma, who I thought Emma would remind me of Jace, but she doesn't at all. I thought there would be a little more witty comments with her, but there weren't many. I mean, there were some, and I had a good laugh over them. But this book was her very determined to find out a lot of things. All right, so we get Jem and Tessa. Jem and Tessa show up in this book, and I absolutely love Tessa. And then I see her in this book, and I don't know what to think of Tessa. And I think it's because she's been alive for I don't even know how long, hundreds of years. Feel like she's lost emotion. She's always like, she said in this gentle, like, neutral voice. And I'm like, come on, Tessa, where's your emotions? I mean, I love Jem and Tessa, but they're so old and they're a lot wiser now that they've just kind of, I don't even know what to think of Jem and Tessa anymore. I mean, I love them. I love them with all my heart, but I mean, just add a little more character to them, please. Please, Cassandra. You're probably not going to watch this, but please, Cassandra. Just please. So Kit is a Haronda. When I learned that, it was like nighttime, and I was freaking out because Kit is Christopher Jonathan Harondale. Like, Jace's name is Jonathan Christopher Harondale, and Cassandra was like, let's just switch them. And there we go. We got the new name, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I'm very excited to see Kit grow as a character. I actually think Kit and Ty are gonna bond a little bit. Even though Ty like held a knife to his throat, that's something to bond about. Let's you almost killed me. Let's hang out. Epilogue, half a page. Annabelle has risen because the spell, and instead of using Blackthorn blood, it was the blood of her lover. And I don't know if Malcolm's dead. I don't know. I feel like if he is dead, then Annabelle is going to be furious and is going to burn down the world. Or she can join the family like Mark. And I hope Helen ends up coming back. Like they see that Mark is there, and they're just like, let's just bring Helen back. But it's the Clave, so they're probably not. Book, it made me very happy. It just like kept dropping bombs from the Mortal Instruments, and I was like, yes, give me more, give me more. I'm really, 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 really excited for the next book. I actually wish I had it right now. Sometimes I wish that I just wait for all of the books to come out so then I can just marathon them. But sometimes I don't wish that. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this book talk. If you've read Lady Midnight, tell me down below what you thought. And if you haven't read Lady Midnight or The Mortal Instruments or any Cassandra Clare book, what is wrong with you? Like, if you haven't read them just because you haven't read them, then there's something wrong with you. But if you don't like it, then I don't judge you. I mean, there are some books that everyone loves that I don't like. Like, subscribe, you guys know what to do.